the heart of a quiet old town stood a grand library with tall wooden doors, dusty windows, and shelves that whispered stories of forgotten times. People visited it only when they needed silence, but for many years, no one knew that the library's greatest treasure wasn't the books. It was the librarian who guarded them. Her name was Amara, a gentle woman with silver streaks in her hair and eyes that carried a universe of wisdom. She spoke softly, moved gracefully, and watched the world with patience. Children believed she knew the answer to every question. Adults said she remembered every face, every book, every dream that walked through the door. But if you asked Amara who she truly was, she would smile and say, just a keeper of stories and a believer in people. One cold morning, a boy named Zayden walked into the library. He was 16, quiet, withdrawn, and carrying a heaviness that didn't belong to someone his age. His grades were failing, teachers had given up on him, and his parents constantly fought about his future. Everyone thought he was lazy, distracted, or simply not good enough. Everyone except Amara. She noticed how Zayden walked with slumped shoulders, as if he was apologizing for existing. She noticed how he held books not with curiosity, but with fear of misunderstanding them. She noticed his eyes not empty, but full of a hidden fire that no one had ever bothered to see. The boy approached the counter, timidly. "Do you have something easy? Something simple to read?" he asked quietly. Amara studied him for a moment before replying. "Simple, yes. But I won't give you that." Zayden looked confused. "But I don't understand big books." Amara smiled warmly. "You don't understand them yet. Sit." She led him to a corner table, surrounded by tall windows where sunlight spilled like warm gold. Then she placed a thick, old book in front of him. "I can't read this," Zayden said immediately. "You can," she said gently. "Not all at once, not in one day. But you can begin." And that was how it started. Every day after school, Zayden came to the library. Amara didn't teach him like a strict instructor. She asked questions. She listened. She guided. She celebrated every small bit of progress the moment he understood a paragraph, the moment he asked a deeper question, the moment he didn't give up on a difficult page. Slowly, Zayden began to change. His shoulders lifted. His eyes brightened. His voice gained confidence. He stopped hiding behind excuses. And for the first time in years, he believed that maybe, just maybe, he wasn't as useless as people said. But the world has a way of testing those who finally rise. One evening, Zayden's teacher called him hopeless in front of the entire class. Some students laughed. Some shook their heads. Zayden sat frozen, embarrassment boiling inside him. On his way home, he threw his books into a trash bin. "What's the point?" he muttered. "Why try when I'll always be a failure?" That evening, he didn't go to the library. Amara waited, but he never arrived. The next day, she found him sitting outside the library's steps, staring at the ground. His eyes were red. Without saying a word, she placed a small key in his hand. "What's this?" "Zayden, ask it." Amara replied softly. "The key to the attic, the oldest part of the library. No one has been there in decades. Go and open it." Confused, Zayden obeyed. When he unlocked the attic, he entered a room filled with broken shelves, torn books, dust, and silence. It looked abandoned, forgotten, like a place no one cared about anymore. Amara climbed the stairs behind him. "Zayden, this attic is you. You." He turned, stunned. She continued. "Everyone gave up on this room. Everyone said it was useless. Too broken, too far gone. But look closely." She pointed at the old shelves. "With patience, time, and belief, it can become the most beautiful room in the whole library." Zayden swallowed hard. "You think? I can change too." Amara looked into his eyes. "You're not broken. You're untouched potential waiting to be unlocked." A tear ran down his cheek. "Then help me rebuild it." Together, they worked every afternoon. Zayden swept the dust, repaired shelves, painted walls, polished wood, and carried old books with care. Day by day, the attic transformed slowly, but beautifully. And as the room changed, so his grades improved. His confidence grew. His mind sharpened. His heart opened. Months later, the attic finally gleamed with warm light and restored shelves. It became a reading room where lonely people found comfort, where stressed students found hope, where forgotten books found life again. At its entrance was a simple plaque, restored by Zayden, a reminder that nothing is truly lost. The town was amazed. Teachers who once dismissed him apologized. Students who mocked him felt ashamed. His parents cried with pride. One evening, as Zayden stood beside the plaque, he whispered, "I didn't know I had this in me." Amara placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. That is why guides exist, not to give you power, but to show you the power you already have. Years passed. Zayden grew into a man with ambition, kindness, and strength. He graduated top of his class, became a teacher, and helped hundreds of children who reminded him of himself. And every time a student felt lost, broken, or useless, he took them to a quiet corner and told them the story of a forgotten attic. It became the brightest room in the library, because Amara had told him a truth that would stay with him forever. Potential is never absent. Sometimes it is simply waiting for someone to unlock it. If you are feeling overwhelmed or struggling, please remember that support is available. You can reach out to organizations like the National Alliance of Mental Illness, or check the links in our description for more resources. Talking to someone can make all the difference. Thank you for watching.